somebody probably made it up 50 years later and everybody has repeated. And then you go look and you're like, oh, it actually checks out. You're probably right. Like, for example, there's a great, I know you're telling me before we started recording, you've been listening to the Jack Johnson series about the first African-American to become a heavyweight champion in boxing. There's a fantastic Jack Johnson story that I think may be made up that I eventually found. I think I opened the series with that, where there's
With
this story
in Georgia
of,
when he's driving in Georgia.
Yeah. And it's I can see that it's almost too good to be true of a story. And
Yeah.
I mean, hell, I'll still tell it as a legend in terms of how why people would even believe it about him, because he did carry himself that way. But probably the specific, but just to tell the story real quick, is like the tale goes that Johnson was really like speeding in when he drove his cars, got busted by a cop. The cop tells him, hey, you were speeding, you owe me X amount of money. And Jack Johnson gives him twice as much. I don't know. I'm making up the
Yeah.
numbers.
He goes, you owe him 50 because you pay tickets on
Yeah,
the spot, and he's like, you owe me
yeah,
$50, and he gave him 100.
exactly. And he's like, I don't have change for that. And Johnson's like, oh no, don't worry. I'm gonna be driving back this way in a few hours, and I'll be doing the same speed. So let
Yeah,
me just
he's
you
prepaying.
know?
Have
And
you? Oh, so go ahead. Go ahead.
no, and I mean, and that testified to Jack Johnson badassery and captures his character, and he's being defiant. Is he literally true? Like, stuff I've seen after recording the podcast makes me think, not entirely sure that's true. Great
Sure.
story.